And we're live with part two. In order to keep up with me, you would have had to catch part one that was interrupted by a fire alarm. It was cool. It gave me a chance to bless the whole fucking parking lot, and that was exactly how long it took to walk around and stage the whole neighborhood. I don't know. I do whatever I'm told. In essence, you're going to have to catch the beginning. I'm not going to repeat myself about what we were talking about, which was the beginning of this book and how this is going to help us deal with people's addictions. I also had started in talking about I'm witnessing a bunch of people getting towered left and right. Real hard things are happening to people. I must have watched, I guess, and probably over the weekend, altogether, 10 to 15 families get put out, bro. Why? I mean, all of us were kind of wondering. Some of them were suspicious, some of them were obvious. And it was all just, workings. God is working. It's, as the wheel turns. So more and more people are going to be falling from grace. A simple example of that would be all the flooding. God flooded how many states in the last 4 days? Literally all of them. Really, he literally did. It's unbelievable. These are businesses, these are homes, these are people's cars, these are their livelihoods have been washed away. If you're going through something right now, just know that everybody is. Welcome to the end times. I'm here to, guide you through it. And it's kind of fucked up to say, but, all day today and especially this morning, you know what I mean? I have a Buddha kind of attitude. I walk around in a sense of joy and happiness. It's kind of unreal. And it's because I don't live in the state of mind that other people live in. I've excelled past, these states of mind of, low vibrational, of, worry and dread and shame and guilt and all of those things. Now, I had to go through all of them intensely, through all levels of the dark night of the soul. And that's why I did a teaching last night, to give you a brief understanding of how many levels you're really going to go through and how long this could possibly take. In essence, it could take your whole life trying to figure yourself out. All the things that you've hidden about yourself and coming clean to yourself and to others around you. And it comes with the stripping of your outside world. Truthfully, it's called the Divine Feminine Awakening, which is your feelings. You're going to be stripped of your freaking, of your statue, and you're going to have to be reborn in your feelings, stripped of the flesh, and to walk in the spirit. Everybody's going to have a mean spirit about them while this happens, and that's where I come to guide them. I just want to point out my feather didn't look so bad after I cleaned it out. It came with my new book. I also had posted that Morgan was guided to get herself. She wanted a couple stones. She didn't know what they meant. And I was like, that's how it works, bro. You get the stones and you find out the meaning later. And she was guided to a pack of tarot. And they were crows. And I was like, you have no idea. She doesn't even know, the Morgan. And it's funny. So I was like, dude, I just finished a whole teaching on tarot. You can totally learn from my classes. I teach everybody. This is just your awakening. It's a way for you to, have divination, to speak with God by yourself, to know what you're supposed to be doing every day in your life. We're going to do a spiritual growth spread in just a minute. But I was really honored, so I got this book, and we're really supposed to be helping, get over some of this stuff. What did I see? Tribalism of adolescence. That's exactly what I talked about. Is, It was, you wanted to be invited to the parties. And everybody knows what happens at the parties. And so we got into a party vibe at a very young age. And now you got Stifler's mom out there and, some of these people that just, party like a rock star every day and are just masking their feelings. This is a way for them to release their inner child, to a form of release. So I'm excited to read all of that. Not necessarily right now, because obviously it's going to be dark teachings, where I'll have to go in and tell you stories about my family and my addictions and everything I've experienced. And that's part of the dark night of the soul. I really had to face that. I did everything to run away from, drugs and alcohol when I got clean. I just wanted nothing to do with it. But you can't run away from the outside world. And it was very triggersome. I lived around tweakers. My Everybody in my family still did drugs and alcohol. Like, it was really hard. I learned to have to accept it as a way of life and not run from it. And that's really what you're going to have to learn here, is a lot of humility, is the things that you run from, the way that people live and what they say and what they do, is their way of life. And you can't run from life. And we can't be afraid of that way of life. And we can't persecute the people that will live that way of life. And until you deal with it, bro, you're going to get more and more of it. You know what I mean? What you know what I mean? What you're running from, you're running too. So these are extremely heavy levels that coincide with this new book that I got. And I'm just going to kind of give you a little rundown of the two. Sheila Nagig is all about your sexuality, bro. Here's, let's see, mental stress. Let's see, psychological symptoms of anxiety. Yourself as a stranger. Alright, so this is all Sheila Nagig. As you witness the change in your life and understand who you've become lately, you will try desperately to cling onto what you once were. Just like the enigma that Sheila Nagig is, you too become a mystery and you won't even recognize who you are anymore. Memories will surface of you as a child and how you were a teenager and beyond, and you might feel devastation as you recall the days of freedom when you weren't a slave to your mind. The pain of recollection may urge you to take steps to get the old you back, but that is impossible. For that person has gone and you can never go back. Instead, allow the past to merge with who you are today, as you remember you are not your past. And that's what it is. You astral travel through time, collecting pieces of yourself, broken pieces in time. It is the past that has prepared you for the future, and when you finally step into the light, you will become the whole of who you are, with all your emotions and memories. In the meantime, you will find a loss of identity. Losing your sense of purpose will make you feel very isolated, lonely, and anxious. When you go through trying ordeal alone, let me stop there. A loss of identity, and you lose a sense of purpose. You're so busy dealing with your inside that you can't even deal with your outside and what you're supposed to be doing outside. You've lost all fucking grounding outside of you because you're lost in the memories and the feelings. I can't fully see it, but I can feel it, bro. Where I would just, as soon as I could wipe my face from one fucking fucked up memory, bro, and pull it finally together, I'd go out and have a cigarette, and in the fucking breath of a second puff, here comes another fucked up memory, bro, where I'm just in shock and in horror and just so fucking upset. I couldn't stop. My spirit guides wouldn't let me, but it was all dark, bro. I couldn't see anything outside of what was happening inside, bro. These memories play inside of your head, and that's all you can see. And you're just reliving them, dude, and they're just mortifying. It's like you're sitting there strapped to a chair, watching your life replay over and over. It's fucking mortifying. I've done this, bro. Worked through every one of those fucked up thoughts. They're all in those videos, I promise you that. When you go through a trying ordeal alone and lack of emotional support can increase your anxiety, which may change your perception of how bad things really are and hinder your coping abilities. You're so lost inside that you can't even see outside, and you feel like the whole outside is crushing because you're crushing inside. That's why it's important to go outside a lot and take a breath. Something about stepping outside, even if it's your own fucking backyard, bro. Just step out there and take your fucking shoes off and sit in the grass for a minute and let it all kind of soak in. Under the night sky, maybe too hot in the sun, but you gotta let it out. And it's okay, you're gonna scream, you're gonna shout, and you're gonna cry a lot. If you're experiencing any of the physical problems listed below, something about anxiety, reasons for working with her. Let's see. There's always a choice and an opportunity to those who are brave enough to make a decision. If you choose to take the path to wholeness, Sheila Nagig will encourage you to do so with awareness and honor, for every step you take creates your future. However, she watched when you dishonored your sexuality, when you gave yourself up to be used like a piece of meat because of your desperation for affection or to be loved. Yeah, bro. Every fucking time you laid with somebody, she was there. She brings that shit up. At least somebody was there. I wasn't. I have proof. I got 4 kids, but other than that, nope. Nope and nope. She heard you suffer in shame from guilt you felt from abuse you suffered through your need for love and affection. When you believed that some love was better than no love, you opened yourself up to abuse. Because your message is clearly one of desperation to be used and maltreated, and screams, "I'm not worthy of love." For those who have experienced sexual abuse or rape, will know what rock bottom feels like to as their safe world comes crashing down around them and left them feeling distraught or powerless. Sheila Nagig also witnessed to those who use carnal exploits are driven by insatiable sexual appetites through an unconscious search for love and some meaning of life. Let me stop there, bro. This is where Maeve is. Maeve used her sexual powers to get what she wanted. She would bat her eyes and get everything she wanted. She was very devious in her sexual warrior powers. It's a whole fucking trip. She had many, 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 many lovers. She was like the Zeus of women, bro. Seriously? Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah, bro. For sure. For sure. She knew what they wanted, and she would toy with them. For sure. Going back to this, Wolfman. You're being vindictive and, hypocritical. Your Sagittarius video was all telling, saying that, we're trying to move on to new love. And you're trying to discourage that and saying, it looks like you're trying to get under someone to get over someone, and that's not healthy. Says who? The fucking Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands that's sleeping with women all the time and taking pictures of their bodies and everything else tells us Sagittariuses not to go sleep around. You're projecting. You just don't want me to move on. Nobody does. You can't control me. Idiot. How dare you ask Lucifer to take me too? Douchebag, you don't have that authority in this life. You had the submission. You didn't know what to do with it. You used it all powerful and egotistical as if you didn't want it. You rejected the very thing you wanted. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, as a Lilith, I think I know better than you. But, karma is karma is karma. And going back to it, how dare you tell anybody not to go sleep around when that's all you do is sleep around? He was projecting. Have you seen that? No way did he tell us not to sleep around. When you tell us how we're the actual, they call us the Sexitariuses. The only thing more dangerous than a Scorpio is a Sexitarius, because we'll fuck you and leave you. Off to another, my friend. That was a fun ride. Now let me move on. In the essence, projector. You use sex as a form of love. You think that these women love you as you dick them down with your insatiable sexual appetite, masturbation and all. You don't even have 2 legs to stand on with this. You could stand on your big old dick and it still wouldn't make no sense. Telling people not to feed their sexual appetite. When all of your 200 videos prior to this says, give in to that primordial. Oh, you don't want me to give into it? Everyone else can but me? Dude, fucking double dipping in this. Just kidding. If I so wanted to. If that was something I wanted to experience, I would like to have a threesome with 2 men. Are you going to stop me? Is God going to care if I wanted to experience that in this lifetime? Go for it, Lilith. Make sure they're good guys. The rest of the guys, I want to see. I want to see what you can do. Don't tell us how to live our lives. Don't tell us not to make mistakes. When you were telling us that your entire channel is about doing just that. Oh, but now. Anyways, I saw you projecting, douchebag. Alright, so that's what Sheila Nagig is all about, is digging up your sexuality. And you've got a huge body count. They're gonna remind you of every girl you did dirty. Every single time you fucking blocked a girl, cocked her and blocked her, bro. You're a cock block. Literally, you cock them and block them, bro. That's mean. How many women? We've already went through this with Russ and all the rest of the guys. Now it's your turn. How many of God's girls did you fucking mutilate for your own fucking pleasure and power? Never with any intention to love not one of them, but you knew that they loved you. You knew they were doing this because they loved you, in hopes they could have a relationship with you, in hopes they could have something real with you. They would bend over whichever way and let you stick whatever in whatever hole you wanted, just so you could be with it, so they could be with you. Am I projecting? Possibly. How many of us women do that, though? How many times have you asked a girl for a blowjob and she hesitates? Would you talk her into it? See what I mean? She didn't openly want to do it. You had to convince her. You had to fucking coerce her. You had to fucking, you know what I mean, to get what you wanted. This wasn't going to be good for her. It was only for you. And you had to guilt her into it. Shame her. Whatever way you did. She didn't say yes, but you made it a yes. And now we could start with the blowjob, or every time that you ask your girl to give you sex. She doesn't feel passionate. You want her to just turn on passion so you can blow a load on her. You want her to be this passionate sex doll whenever you feel an urge in your dick. That's not very nice. That's not what we're here for, bro. We want to love the shit out of you, but we want to feel that before we get there. You know what I mean? And there's no passion. There's no seduction. There's none of that, dude. It's just about please me. Quick rip off your clothes and get a freaking, you know what I mean? Get a quickie in. I don't like this. Naturally, this is all triggering to me, but it's not, because I've done so much healing that, obviously I'm still at a place where, he sent me a dick pic like 3 weeks ago and I went a little crazy. I just had memories I didn't remember, bro. And I wasn't ready, but you're not ready. And I don't have any more memories of having sex because it was all, blocked out. Whether I was trying to enjoy it or not, it was still blocked out. Because I was on programmed patterning of just pleasing. Really? Oh, yeah. Yep. It's the best way I could protect myself and, keep control. Just be pleasing, sexually pleasing. It's in me. What about my pleasures? I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you. Anyway, so that's what Sheila Nagig really digs up. She really digs up all of our sacral. Then you go into Saradwin, but then Maeve comes right after. And she again brings up your sexuality, leadership, strategy, making plans, deviousness, adaptation, determination, and justice, self-honor, drive, and balance. The picture alone should teach you. Yep, there's 3 of them trying to have her. That's just those 3. I got bros and different area codes. With Maeve's mob means mead in the middle of England, and the word mobbled. It's her whole story about it. It was the whole fight in the Coolidge or some shit. It was all about Cuckoo Lane. That was it. Cuckoo Lane. It's a whole story. It's a whole story with Cuckoo Lane. It was the it was about the bull and Cooley. Anyways, she teaches you. Sorry, I got casted into time. I was watching the whole fucking fight go down in my head. She teaches you determination and discipline, how to keep looking forward, how to keep pushing forward, how to adapt to change plans. Right? You may have called her on a soul level for a sex life. That might have been me. For a sex change, for new passion and drive, to make a decision, for a new future, for making plans, for dominion over others. You may have unwittingly called her if you felt jealous towards another, spoke a load of bullshit, became intoxicated, drank mead, ate honey, had a bee venom facial. Never did that. I mean, I swear to God, I told everyone it felt like that's what happened to my face, is that I got stung with a bee. You got your own way, were the doormat one in a relationship, allowed others to have power over you, you were bullied, manipulated as a coping strategy, a bunch of stuff. So it's on it, and most of my books that studied me in the dark goddess form learned so much about themselves. And she does this as an archetypical perspective, right? So that's pretty much it. Is the dark feminine is an archetype that runs through all your feelings. So these are really strong teachings. Where will we start? Again, as I said in my first reading, I get this stuff and we don't open it for long periods of time. Why? Because I actually start working through the pages before we open them. Really? Time and time again, you'll see that. Alright, let's move on. So that's what we're going to be really studying. Those are going to be our real next levels, deeper levels of shadow work for those that are going into higher levels of shadow work. We're still going to cover all of the lower levels, but those are going to be our intensified levels for this year. Sounds great, right? I mean, I asked Marshall when I had to start becoming, you know what I mean, facing a lot of this. I'm like, do you have this, bro? You have all this holdback when it becomes, you know, intimate? Is it difficult for you to get intimate with a person? I mean, physically intimate. You know, you think about someone like Lewis. What part of you turns on that this is, you know what I mean? It just patterns. Will it just turn on where you just drop your pants and know what to do? Is it just a pattern, or you don't have a pattern? You've never built a pattern to how this works. Just certain things like that. What's your sexual appetite, and what's the patterns that go with it, and how does it work? I guess is something that maybe some of you need to be looking at. I didn't have one. It was extremely repressed. And that's why I was extremely shocked when it came out and just wanted to devour Bobby. The fuck did I just do with that guy? Oh my god, I'm so ashamed. I couldn't explain it. I figured it out quite quickly that this was patterning, that I was just trying to love him. I was trying to please him according to what I'd been taught in my marriages and shit like that. But, you know, he comes back 2 years later and I'm still uncontrollable with this thing. Then he tells me we slept together like 12 times. And I'm like, well, my brain is patterned. It knows what to do with you, and it's going to do it, and it just wants to do it. It's interesting because at least it wants to do it with somebody. I haven't had this feeling for anyone else yet. No, not really. I'm not a physical attraction. Like, don't get me wrong, I have beautiful men, but I don't sit there thinking about what they look like with their clothes off. I'm quite afraid of the male appendage and what it's done in my life. So I don't think about it. If I wanted to, I could, I guess. Not really. I don't have any memories. Like, I barely did. I barely got a dick pic in my head to begin with. Really? Yeah, useless, right? Why do you give me a pic and not the dick? Just need you to think about this for a while. Yeah, I thought too much about it. That's what I said too. Don't think too hard. What are you talking about, bro? It's like the first time I ever seen a penis. I think I'm not going to think about this a lot? A whole lot? You just sent a fucking young girl a penis pic. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? And that's what I was asking the internet. What is the proper reaction for this? I know at my age I should have a reaction, but I told you already I'm a 40-year-old virgin. 42 now. I'm not getting any better at this. In the essence, it's like, what was the proper reaction? And why do you have a picture of that, just him hanging out on your phone? Just be sending people. Like, what is this? This is your profile picture? What the fuck? You just, like, wait till you get it all big and then take a picture and then finish yourself off? Where the fuck did this come from? Sorry. A little deep for all of you. At least Kanye wrote a good song to it. Where are we at currently? Two of Wands. Well, that's interesting. Why are we using these? Because God is making me learn them, just like she's got to learn a new deck, so do we. Try to explain them to her. She was drawn to tarot. I was like, ugh. I mean, I was too in the beginning. I wasn't naturally, you know, I didn't want to be a tarot reader. Here we are, all this time later, and I still don't know what the fucking Two of Wands means. Really? Not really. It's not memorized in my head. I have too much going on in there, bro. I don't keep information. Especially if we just keep putting it back in there, the same repetitive information. Why bother? Let's see. Planet formation. Planets form out of disks of dust and gas, whirling Two of Wands, right? Yeah. Whirling into being under pressure and gravity. The Two of Wands represents a vision, idea, or project, and in similarly protean form. The inspiration of the ace has begun to coalesce, but the details are not yet clear. After the light bulb moment, the process of formation and cohesion must transform your idea into fully developed plan. Alright, so we're strategizing. Are we? We're contemplating? We're making plans? I am too. What are you planning? To take over the world? No, just kidding.